the upper part of our brain. So this is midbrain.
Pons.
Pons is this pod, these pods that stick off the front.
Medulla oblongata.
So this is the pons. This guy. So midbrain. Okay. So this portion in here is midbrain, and then this is
Mine look flat.
the pons.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
Boop, boop.
And then the medulla oblongata.
Medulla oblongata is here, and you can see that it suddenly goes from looking like this kind of tissue to very white. That's because this down here is now spinal cord. Yeah, so it looks different.
Olfactory tracts.
Okay, good. So these huge things here, these floppy guys, these are their olfactory bulbs, right? Because they're animals. So these flappies. These are the cerebral peduncles, but we just have to know it as midbrain on the sheet. So here is theirs. It should be big. There should have two of them. Sometimes they get kind of choppy as they try to dissect them. These, you can see these that look like horizontal bands. That's what a tract actually looks like on the brain. Okay.
Longitudinal fissure.
Oh, we gotta flip them back over. Longitudinal fissure. Bloop.
Optic tracts.
Okay, so then we get the cheap brains. So we don't really have good optic nerve, but you would want to realize that it would come off here into the little eyeball and here to the little eyeball.
An optic chiasm.
The optic chiasm is the cross, and it's even clearer on the sheepy. Yeah, so you can see like all this section in here.
Nice.
You'd be considered that, and then these are the two nubs of the optic nerve. Where this is the tract. Okay, and on here, here's the tract. Okay.
Ventricles, lateral, third.
Okay, so to do that, now we get to dissect.
Ooh.
So I'm going to leave one of you to do it because that's the fun of it. You're going to go all the way down and completely separate the two halves of the brain. All the way through the cerebellum and the brainstem.
I'm not gonna
They don't just
recycle
kind of
these,
pull
are we?
apart.
Yeah, and then just cut through. It's pretty easy tissue. It's much nicer than the eye that we're about to do. Sorry.
That sounds wonderful, doesn't it? And you said cut this part too? The
Yeah,
cerebellum?
all the way through.
I gotta
That's
touch
not
it.
really center, please do. That's not really the center of that.
About eating sweet bread. Sent all the way through the cerebellum.
Yeah, all the way
Oh,
through
oh.
the cerebellum. Keep going.
Ooh. Very.
Scrambled eggs.
Yeah. Like overdone.
Oh, man.
Overdone.
I'll never eat them again.
Okay. Okay, great. Good. Oh, good job. Okay, it's perfect. Hey. Okay. So now what we can do is we can actually see into the ventricles.
Cool.
See them? See how they open up real nicely when we come into here? See that? That's all choroid plexus that begin, some of that is at least, that's producing it. And you can even see some of the septum pellucidum. So you actually did do a pretty good sagittal cut there. And you can get that flap, and then you can get down in there. So you can see the lateral ones really nicely on both of them, actually. Okay, so those are lateral. Third, I see it really clearly here. See this space? That's third ventricle. You can't see it in the
It's right
model at
underneath
all. Yeah, right underneath. So we got lateral, and then we got third. And you can still see it here. We can create that space with our pointer, but it's not as clear as on that one. Fourth ventricle is the hardest. It's this space in here. Okay, that's fourth ventricle. That's fourth ventricle. This is one of those times when the model is better for the fourth ventricle.
And the fourth ventricle looks like a little star in the model,
It should look like it should look at the very bottom, yeah. And so we just don't get we don't have enough of the external structure to see more of that. Corpus callosum, along the top of the lateral ventricles, this white bundle is corpus callosum. So you can probably feel with your thing, it feels different than the surrounding. Like this is nice and soft, and this is really hard because it's nice, hard
Right.
tracks running across. Thalamus, they want you to be able to find the thalamus. That's what this is around. This third ventricle is around. So this sort of egg in the middle, that's the thalamus. So there's one half, and there's the other, and then you can see here's thalamus, and here's thalamus here.
Hypothalamus.
Hypothalamus kind of sucks on the sheep brain. You're looking for the area of it towards the optic chiasm and stuff, so it's down in this area. I never put that on the practical in the sheep brain because it's not clear enough. So you can, that's going to be on the actual model if I put hypothalamus on there. Pineal body. Ooh, wait. Pineal body I do like to put on there if we got one. If we didn't get one, we'll cross it off. Yeah, you guys do. This is pineal body. Huge in the sheep.
It's terrible. My camera right here. Ah, there we go.
Can make it look better?
And I think I'm guessing it's the pineal body, right? Is releases melatonin is its main function for sleep-wake cycles, and I think that must be because sheep are, and like most animals, are more profoundly affected by circadian rhythms than we are. What we can, I'm imagining. I don't know why theirs is huge. Ours is not that large, so by comparison. And that's it. I did want to. I'll show you a couple other things that won't be on the practical, but for fun's sake. So yeah.